Commander David Fravor of the US Navy, they've got these new sensors on airplanes, and they saw this thing that was flying really low to the water, and it was doing some insane accelerations, and it could move apparently with no caring about the air resistance, and it could pivot 90 degrees, and they called it like the TIC-TAC. That's pretty much the most famous thing right now. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
No, I have, and it's another example where they're violating the laws of physics. If they're violating the laws of physics, we're dealing with something that's not physical. I mean, objects just can't accelerate that fast without encountering heat friction, without there being a sonic boom. The fact that we're not seeing that. And I think people are being impressed. Hey, we got photographs. These things show up on radar. But if you actually look at it in detail, people will say, hey, we got a photograph, but the eyewitnesses saw nothing. Or the eyewitnesses see it, they try to photograph it, and nothing shows up on the photograph. Or they get a radar blip, but it doesn't show up optically. So the fact that you don't get a universal detection with all different media tells us we're not dealing with something that's physical.
Mm-hmm. I've heard people try to explain how it's possible that these things can do that. One said that these TIC-TACs could lock and jam the radar, and another one was saying that they can basically create a field around them that basically acceleration or gravity can't affect it, matter can't affect it, and they can maybe accelerate with gravity uniformly. So like if you have gravitational acceleration, you don't feel any forcing acting upon you because all the molecules are being pulled along at the same rate. So and there's a couple of really interesting patents on Google that makes this stuff look kind of real-ish, but I think maybe there's too much new information coming at once here. And I mean, why are we so special now that the UFOs are becoming revealed? I'm just quite skeptical, but I respect the quality of people that are sending me some interesting stuff, so it's interesting anyway, man. But I'm just staying close to Jesus because.
Well, it's really interesting, but all these descriptions of somehow bypassing the law of gravity, again, that's evidence we're not dealing with a physical phenomena. No matter what kind of technology we humans develop, we're going to be subject to the law of gravity. You're not going to get around that. The law of gravity pulls everybody down, whether you like it or not.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you could invent something that created a gravitational field that could essentially make you accelerate really fast, because if you could have something that could create a gravitational field with a million G's, and
okay, well, a friend of mine who's the chairman of the Department of Physics at Baylor University in Texas, he's actually interested in these kinds of questions. And so he's calculated, for example, could we actually build a spaceship that would go faster than the velocity of light? And he basically says, if we can find a way to bend the space-time fabric of the universe, we can actually make that happen. However, it requires converting a planet the size of Jupiter 100% into energy every microsecond to pull that off. So the energy demands to make these kinds of phenomena happen are absurd. And again, it's simply not possible for physical beings to pull that off. And by the way, we're talking a spaceship that weighs 1 gram.
All right.
That's how much energy you got to expend to get something to go faster than the velocity of light.
Yeah. I think as growing up liking sci-fi, and I'm also writing sci-fi. It does kind of excite me in a sort of strange way, all this UFO stuff. But as a Christian, it's not very compatible with my beliefs, because why would God create other beings apart from us? I know maybe people that are atheists think that's quite selfish, but I think the Bible would basically explain, like, if God created other planets and systems and stuff.
Well, the Bible is explicit that God created 2 distinct species of intelligent life. One species, namely us human beings, that are constrained by the physics of the universe, and a distinct species, the angels, that are not so constrained. And so once again, I think you're right. The strategy of the evil angels is to convince us there's nothing supernatural going on, or they take the opposite extreme that they're everywhere and they're control of everything, and hence they generate a huge amount of fear. It's one extreme or the other.